You're back. Well, welcome back to the man cave, the tiki bar, the underground bunker, ground zero. And I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you have, thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming back. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I will try to get to them. We're continuing on navigating through the toughest seasons. And today, I've got a couple questions for you. When you're in a conflict and you get this big question, who's right? Who's in the right? And whose side is actually right? And then whose side is God on in this situation? You ever get those questions in your head? I sure do. Because this topic, it's universal. It's relational. It's extremely personal. We are living in a very polarized time in history. But fear not, this is nothing new. Conflict and disagreement have been part of the human experience for eons of time. Right now, you may be facing a very horrific battle of your own that may involve your family, your job, your ex, your neighbor, your church, whoever it is. Could be your community, your country, whatever it is. I want to take a second and say, I'm really sorry that you are going through this. I understand some of these things. I've experienced a lot of things. But also I want to say perhaps your deep spiritual, emotional scars may be from past experiences that have resulted in feelings of shame, unworthiness, anger, and they're currently could be impeding your ability to forgive, or also they're impeding you to have the ability to have healthy relationships in your life. So it can be extremely tough. I understand, because you feel you've been wronged, mistreated, or worse, violated. It can be traumatic. You begin wanting to know who's got your back, and then you might ask, who doesn't have my back? So I want to take a second, and speaking of back, I want to get back to basics and get some perspective on the bigger picture. For instance, we'll go back to that first question that I was asking, whose side is God on? Well, surely that's easy, right? It's yours, because you're never in the wrong, right? No, or same here. I get it. Something profound dawned on me in a particular conflict that I was going through, this particular situation that I was in. And I thought back to the Old Testament story. Do you remember the story where Joshua, who was the successor of Moses, he had just crossed over the Jordan River, and he's near Jericho, and this figure appears out of nowhere. He's got a drawn sword, and Joshua says, "Hey, whose side are you on? Are you on our side or the enemy's side?" And I love the answer, because this person, this figure that appears, his reply is, "Neither, for I am the commander of the Lord's army." That's awesome. And Joshua, he gets it. He falls face down, and he's in this posture of humility. And the light's going off in his head. He's like, "Oh, I get it. It's not an us or them situation. It's not a who's right, who's wrong. It's about you, the commander of the Lord's army." By the way, most scholarly sources that I've researched believe this figure is what is called a Christophany, a pre-incarnate Christ that is visiting him at this moment. And that's pretty awesome. Jesus in the Old Testament. And so my big takeaway in all of this is I need to get in line with and behind Christ and not the other way around. We tend to do that. I need to be on his side instead of fomenting on who is in the right. Because in the big scheme of things, none of us are 100% right. You know that. And there's no one here that is perfect except the one who is the standard of perfection, and that's Jesus. Today in church, it was awesome how I'm thinking about what I'm going to say when I put this together. It was so fitting because the pastor reminded us that the Bible is very clear. There's not one righteous, no, not one, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. This grim reality is found in Romans chapter 3, where Paul is actually quoting Psalm 14 and Psalm 53. Now, do you see how that all works together? Because we were talking about the Psalms on another video, and it's just interesting how all the pieces of the puzzle fit together, because God works for the good, right? To those who love him and are called according to his purpose. All right, now I won't leave you with the bad news. We go to the good news, and it's that very familiar verse. But it states that in John 3:16, whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Now, this is what's interesting. Whosoever believes in him, did you know that actually means three different things? Believe means to trust in, to cling to, and to rely on. Now, I start thinking about Joshua again. Okay, so Joshua just realizes he's talking to the commander of the Lord's army. And he says, okay, I imagine. He gets behind him. Lead on. I'm hanging on to you. You lead the way. Because it's not about me. It's not about my battle. It's not about my situation. It's about following you. And so I hope this today puts some things into perspective and helps you see maybe the bigger picture in things. And I want to leave you with this quote. It's by E.T. Benson. And I found this very useful. It says, pride is concerned with who is right. Humility is concerned with what is right. May God bless you today. And would you please go and encourage somebody who could use it. There are some people who are going through a lot. And you could be that voice of encouragement today. God bless you. Hope to see you back next week.